Good morning. Welcome to Decker's first Hummingbird seminar video. I'm so excited to introduce all these amazing plants that we have. That hummingbirds are not always around, but on Long Island we have the ruby-throated hummingbird. We only have one, but my goodness, they are truly magic in the air. So it's definitely time to get creative and get planting. To have your hummingbird paradise. It's a wonderful thing. You can have it in shade, full sun, or half and half. You want to get a great mix of annuals, perennials, and tropicals. The annuals will give you blooms throughout the summer, and then the perennials will bloom for their set period, but all are essential, and some of the perennials haven't even come in yet that are summer bloomers, like crocosmia. So that's a hummingbird lover, and so basically we want to get started with, and tropicals also. Even though they cannot overwinter outside, tropicals are a wonderful addition to the hummingbird garden, because of course it reminds the hummingbirds of the islands that they come from. But they are also bountiful bloomers, and they have the nectar that the hummingbirds need. So with that, I'm going to upload the blurb about the hummingbird, so it will list all the plants, because I'm not going to be able to show every single one, but we have an amazing assortment this year, a much greater expansion of product. And while we are sold out of the black and blue salvia, hopefully you got some of that. We do have all of the rocking series and wonderful salvias. This one is Amistad. We have Wendy's Wish, which is awesome. This one they love. So we've got many, and we've got the Verbena bonariense. That also has a beautiful purple flower. I had talked earlier about the seeds. Hopefully you guys planted some of those seeds for the runner beans, because unfortunately we're sold out of those. But they will have that red bloom that the hummingbirds are very drawn to. But the great thing is, for those of you who didn't get the seeds, we brought in some trellises. This is the cardinal flower vine right here in the front. Has these beautiful star-shaped red blooms, and the hummingbird will go into each one of those to get the nectar. And if you're watching carefully, you'll see that the beak opens and the tongue unfurls, goes right down, extends all the way to the tip of the bloom, getting that nectar, and then goes back in very quick. Now, hummingbirds are speedy, so they can actually, their wings rotate in a figure 8 rotation, so that allows them to hover and go backwards, forwards, up and down, zoom in. They're also very protective of their territory. When they are feeding, they will chase away bigger birds who are in their way. Food is very important. And the other important tip is always create your hummingbird garden close to where you dine. So if it's off your patio or off your dining room window, that's about, they come breakfast, lunch, and dinner, just like we do. And so you don't want to miss them. And this year, hummingbirds will start up north in April and May, and one of our frequent flower customers did tell us that she saw them very beginning of May. Mine arrived May 17th, but it was the female, so the male had already come and I missed him. But the interesting thing is they will then kind of not be around the garden for a while, and just last night my female hummingbird arrived to check out my garden, make sure I had my black and blue salvia and the candy corn kufia. So candy corn kufia is an amazing bloom. It looks like a little Halloween candy or a cigar shape, and that actually they will go into each one of those, which is so incredible. Perches, this is another beautiful starburst type bloom, and you can see the little white center. They are going into the nectar. We have red, pinks. This comes in a great variety of colors. The other important plant is Nicotiana, and this is known as the tobacco plant, but of course we're doing it for the blooms. This is a beautiful one that the hummingbirds enjoy. And then another great annual for the hummingbirds is Gomfrina. So we have the more compact variety as well as the little bit more upright. So again, beautiful blooms. They looked perhaps a little tiny for us, but perfect size for the hummingbird. A couple other annuals that we have, not in small pots, but we have the golden lantana as a topiary. Again, for those of you who did not buy the Mina labata seeds, we have that plant already coming in on a trellis and soon to bloom. So that's a wonderful one as well. And don't forget the tropicals. Oh, sorry, one more annual to talk about are the zinnias. Now, zinnias are magnificent for butterflies, but also for hummingbirds. They will go into this little golden crown at the top and get the nectar from each one of those. So we have many new hummingbird plants, and this is actually devil's tears. So this will have red tubular shape that droop down. We also have a grape, a Butylon topiary, and again, this orange one is really magnificent. These do need to be brought inside to overwinter, but you know, when a plant is so beautiful, mine bloomed all winter, it's worth bringing in. Another one is the shrimp plant. This has these beautiful yellow bracts, and then we'll soon have little white tubular shaped flowers coming out of each of those. This is a magnificent one, plus a great photo op when you're getting ready to photograph your hummingbirds enjoying the feast. Again, the hibiscus we have in many sizes, many colors. Again, the hummingbird will enjoy that. And for those of you who have shade, we also have wonderful hummingbird plants. This year we have the Gartenmeister fuchsia, which is again a magnificent one with these wonderful orange tubular shaped blooms. We have fuchsias, the upright, as well as a beautiful array of hanging baskets. I don't know, hopefully you can see that one. They love that fuchsia. And then going back to some tropicals, this is Tibucina. And this has just a magnificent purple flower with that center stamen. And here it looks very much like a clematis almost with that color. But it is wonderful, bountiful bloomer, and that's very cool. Another topiary in the tropical family will be the shrimp plant in more of a coral color. So again, don't get too fixated on only one color. While hummingbirds like red, they also like other colors. So it's really more about creating a whole area where you can enjoy watching them. The other thing I do is I don't always plant my hummingbird plants in the ground. It's also good to plant them in pots, because then you can actually raise the pots. You want it more at your eye level when you're seated, because then you get to see the hummingbirds. When you plant all these plants down on the ground, not so easy to see. Oh, our Baltimore Oriole is singing in along with us, so this is great. Now we also have some wonderful new plants. This is a mallow, and again you see that beautiful little pink bloom. So that is a hummingbird attractor. And then wonderfully, we do have some perennials in right now. The wonderful monarch butterfly, Asclepias tuberosa. This is also bee friendly as well as hummingbird friendly. So, and then we have an agastache with this wonderful orange tubular shaped bloom. That also attracts the hummingbirds. We most likely will get some more penstemon, but I wanted to show you this one just because of the magnificent bloom. There's also the beard tongue penstemon, which is a beautiful heuchera. Heuchera, we think it's a rather insignificant bloom, and of course you buy heuchera for the colorful leaves, but the hummingbirds love this. And of course, this is one of the earlier bloomers, as is Aquilegia, which we are sold out of at the moment. But that, again, those early bloomers that with a tubular shape, they are essential for the hummingbirds who arrive right on schedule back in April and May. Now this is a wonderful new plant that we brought in. It's actually a perennial petunia. It will soon be covered with these beautiful purple flowers. And I saw my first ones down in Longwood Gardens, and they had them in a back border, and it was magnificent. One more seed packet that we do have right now is the hyacinth bean vine. And remember, beans sprout very quickly and grow rapidly. So this is one that is a great fall color, has burgundy leaves and violet flowers, and then the seed pods are purple. Awesome to add to if you have a fence or a trellis. Talk about hummingbird feeders, because you basically want to have some liquid for them. So we have the clear nectar, and the ideal way to do hummingbirds is always to offer them clear nectar and red where they can go in and drink their nectar. Actually, just put on the stake and stick right in the plant so that you're giving them two options. And then this is the Audubon one, which gives many quarts. Now I only have seen 2 hummingbirds at the same time in my garden. So, I would love to get a whole lot, but that may be more in Texas and down south where they have many varieties of hummingbirds. Now, for those tiny little birds, the most essential thing is having a perch. They really need to rest after they are using so much energy to drink all that nectar. So the perch is a little swing. You can hang it on your wonderful shepherd's hook. And this is one more magnificent hanging basket for the shade. This is a bonfire begonia, and this is just an amazing plant, and they do enjoy going in to get the nectar there. So with that, I just wanted to give you a quick update as to how I got passionate about hummingbirds. Years ago, I learned about many hummingbirds up in Westchester, and I thought, oh, I wish I had them here. And I really didn't think they were on Long Island. But then I met Paul Adams, and I went to his backyard, and he has turned his patio into the Baiting Hollow Hummingbird Sanctuary. Unfortunately, it's no longer open to the public, but he was a wealth of knowledge and had a passionate affair with hummingbirds, and he shared all of the plants in his backyard that did best. And so with that, I got started. I started with black and blue salvia and runner beans. And the first year I did not have any hummingbirds, but I was determined. Next year I had many more plants, and they arrived. It's so much fun. So now, ever since that, I've had hummingbirds each summer, and truly they delight me, and I stop in my tracks to watch them. So the last thing I'm going to recommend is that you definitely take a look out on the Nature Channel. There's a wonderful documentary, Magic in the Air, and it will give you a lot more background on hummingbirds. So again, welcome, and I'm so glad you were able to join us and enjoy those hummingbirds.